Vice President Kamala Harris held her first campaign event as a presidential candidate in Wisconsin on Tuesday. She thanked President Biden for his endorsement and touted fundraising efforts so far. Let's listen.
We just had some breaking news. We just had the best 24 hours of grassroots fundraising in presidential campaign history.
With just under a month until the Democratic National Convention and a little over 100 days till the election, what is next for the Harris campaign? Our very own Rick Newman is here with the details. Rick, it's great to have you here. So obviously, Harris, they're talking about the record-breaking fundraising in under 24 hours for a candidate, but specifically there was this focus on the number of individual donations. Talk to me about what that means about the potential voter energy and sentiment around Harris heading to the polls in November.
It tells you that individual voters are fired up to support Kamala Harris, and that the fundraising number, I believe, is now around $126 million raised in small dollar donations since she became the leading candidate for the Democrats and Biden stepped down. That money is really important. I mean, people hear millions of dollars here, millions of dollars there, super PACs. Some people donating, rich people donating $50 million and stuff like that. Those small dollar donations go straight to the presidential campaign. So the campaign itself can use it for all the nuts and bolts of getting out and winning votes. That means opening offices in every corner of every swing state. Phone calls, hiring people. Some of it is advertising. That is really important, and that's different from the super PAC funding, which doesn't. You can't really do all of those things. That's used for other things like running ads. I think more importantly, it just tells you that she really has generated excitement among Democrats. She's up a little bit in the polls, so she's gotten sort of the honeymoon bump you might expect. That doesn't mean she's going to keep it. This is going to be a tough race all the way through, and the Trump campaign, it was planning to go after Joe Biden, so they're retooling their campaign, figuring out how to attack Kamala Harris, and they are going to do that for sure. But if you're a Democrat, it's a good restart.
Rick, what do you think Kamala needs to focus on and the Harris campaign needs to focus on? Because you recently wrote about, yes, there is a lot of excitement surrounding Harris right now and ultimately a lot of backing. Clearly, we can see that by the donations. But inflation and the economy is still going to be a very sticky issue potentially here for Harris over the next couple of months.
Right. And I wrote about some election forecast models that are based on the economics in swing states. What's the inflation rate in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin? What's the unemployment rate? How do people feel about jobs? She's going to have the same challenge Biden would have had on inflation, which is, how are people going to feel about inflation by the time they decide whom to vote for? Are they going to still be focused on food prices, for example, that are up like 24% since Biden-Harris took office and have risen by a little bit more than incomes? Or are they going to say, well, the trend is going in the right direction. I'm starting to feel good about inflation. Maybe we will have a Federal Reserve interest rate cut. So people will say, yeah, life's getting a little more affordable. Enthusiasm for Harris will not necessarily overcome swing voters' concerns about the economy. And I mean, there are a bunch of different challenges in terms of which demographic she's strong with, which demographic she's weak with. But one of the most important things she needs to do is boost voters' opinion of Democrats' ability to handle the economy, because it's still much lower than their belief in Trump being able to handle the economy pretty well.
All right, Rick, always great to get your insight. You're going to be a busy man over the next several months. We'll be talking to you probably once again tomorrow. All right, Rick, thanks so much.
Bye, guys.